Hello everyone, we sound like the Drug Gamer here and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time, I forgot what we did last time. This time, after exhausting the books Kenji has left me in just a few nights, I go back to the library, deeming it a safe alternative for getting my reading fix. I return the books he had stolen while I'm at it. To Yuko's delight, I don't tell her where I got them though. Wow, you sure read a lot, don't you? Yeah, I guess I do. I do. Even I think it's weird. I think I might have a reading problem. Maybe I'm a junkie. No, I didn't mean it that way. It's not weird at all. Being addicted to reading is a lot better than being addicted to something else. Yeah, no, it was a joke. So reassuring and drop the books off on the counter so Yuko can check them out. I feel so tired. So I sit down in the vacant chair in front of her desk. While Yuko goes through the modest pile of reading material I found, I let my gaze wander around the library. The tables and pair of girls chatting in hushed tones rather than working on their homework. The short-haired one notices me, looking in the direction and waves at me. With my hand back, they glance at each other and giggle in unison. I'm not sure how I feel about this, so I decide it's a good thing. The one who waved at me has a horrible case of epilepsy. Jesus, okay! I saw her having an attack a few days ago. It was one of the most disturbing and scary things I've seen in a very long time. I have heard it was, I don't remember when. I'm trying to remember how it happened. I think I was going to homeroom. Or whatever the freaking, like, hour just to catch up on stuff. I don't remember. This is what happened in middle school. I don't even remember if it was 7th or 8th grade. But what happened is, I heard that someone had like a freaking attack where they fell and hit their head on a desk going down? I've heard about it. I've heard it from the teacher, but I haven't seen anything about it. So, the thing is, I think it was because it's actually someone I knew in my class too. Or at least one of the classes I had. Like, it was a student I at least talked to sometimes, so that was actually quite worrisome. Yet there she is, happily chirping away about whatever, as if she doesn't have a care in the world. You know, this school really is something else. Yuko raises her eyes from her books she was going through, slightly startled. She adjusts her glasses and puts on a nervous, confused smile. What do you mean? I don't really know how to explain it. It's just that everyone's so active? Or how should I put it? Oh, frick. It's not just the festival thing, I think. Even though I haven't been here that long, but it's everything. People talk more, work harder, and just are more than in any other school I've seen before. Shouldn't lean for words, but it feels like I'm speaking honestly. This school feels so alive. Sure, there was some people like this in my old school too, but not as many. And it feels more intense somehow. I think, if I had to pin it down into one thing, that the students here really appreciate going to school. I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah, me neither. Then I realized I've been babbling my thoughts to Yuko, out of the blue. She's a bit of a jumpy person, so I fear I might have made a bad impression. So looking at me with what I hope is curiosity rather than horror. So I figure she's alright. It's only 5, why am I yawning? Sorry for suddenly talking about weird stuff like this. I didn't mean to trouble you. Oh no, it's not troubling. I'm happy to listen to it. Listen if you feel like talking. It makes me feel a little reliable too. Yuko smiles sweetly and a little bit ironically at that. I respond with a thankful smile of my own. As she pushes the neat stack of books across the counter, I stand up and gather them in my arms. Here you are. Thank you. I guess we'll be meeting each other again? Please come back any time. Yuko's kindness is heartwarming. You can count on it. See you later. Well, that's it for this time. This is a restart that. I'm kidding. I'm curious. Why did I end it there? Again, I have no idea what the hell happened last time. I can only go back so far. I can't go back further than this. Nor can I go. What? Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to Click. The proper transition. Do, 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 do. The morning of the track meet greets me with a brilliant sunshine from a crystal blue sky. While I leisurely stroll towards the track, I decided this is a good sign. Of what? I'm not sure. This event isn't as exciting for me as it seems to be for a large portion of the student body. I'm even less interested in watching sports than I'm participating, but cheering for Emmy is a good cause. Not expecting this to be any sort of amazing or spectacular experience, but it can't hurt. I'll probably be spending the time reading while cooped up in my room otherwise. When I approach the bleachers, I spot Rin emerging from the crowd right before she spots me. You came. Of course! I said I would, didn't I? That doesn't necessarily imply that they had to follow through. Lots of people say things and don't mean them. Well, I don't. Rin shrugs, seemingly bored with our conversation. She turns on her heel and heads back towards the stands. So, are you excited about this? Not really. Me neither. Then why did you come? Why did you? Ah. She doesn't reply at all, so I decide not to either. We enter the bleachers and Rin nods upwards. Up there. Rin leads the way and soon we settle down on an empty... Oh, who the hell is this? There's an older woman sitting next to Rin. Someone's mother, I assume? She's got rather long hair done in a braid. On seeing Rin, she gives an oddly familiar seeming grin. Well, this is surprising. I thought you went to get a snack, not a boy. Who says I'm not a snack, woman? Huh? This is no good. See, even Rin thinks I'm a good snack. I feel offended. The woman looks at Rin and shakes her head, apparently unable to find a comment for that. I know the feeling. Well, I suppose you've always been one to go out for one thing and bring back another. But I'm being rude. I haven't introduced myself. I'm Miko Iburazaki. I'm sure you know the school. You've at least met my daughter, too. Pleased to meet you. Well, that explains it. She's like a taller, older, more motherly Emmy. Apart from her hair being somewhat darker than her daughter's, there's really no mistaking the resemblance. Sorry, I'm Hisao. Hisao Nakai. Nice to meet you. I'm Rin Tesuka. Miss Iburazaki laughs again. She really does resemble her offspring, and then leans back a little on her seat and raises an eyebrow. So now that we all know each other, how long have you and Rin been dating? My response consists of silence as my brain suddenly lurches into gear. But just before I begin to utter a hastily blabbled explanation, Emmy's mother bursts into laughter again. You're a blusher, aren't you? I don't know if there's any way to keep my dignity in this situation. I settled for a mumbled response. We're not... I know. It's just funny to watch you squirm. I'm sorry. Forgive an old woman and her amusements. She goes again to herself. Old woman? She sure doesn't look that old to me. I suppose I can let it go? How kind of you. It's starting. I directed my attention to the track where they were preparing for the first sprint. It looks like the 400-meter dash. My eyes scanned the runners before finding Emmy. She's smiling, with an almost cocky look on her face. The subtle reason is his pistol! I forgot they use guns! Emmy runs off the block, disappearing from the starting line in a blur. Hey! It's our classmate! It's amazing. Even as the other sprinters converge on the lanes closest to the inside lane, Emmy surges to the front of the pack. By the time she rounds the final turn, a few of the other runners have caught up with her. But she puts on a final burst of speed that leaves them at least half a second behind. Jeez, half a second means a lot. Hey! Miss Iburazaki whoops and shouts, applauding wildly and generally looking like any other parent cheering on their child. Emi bounds off the track looking pleased with herself. I cheer alongside the rest of them. Yeah! The announcer, sounding suspiciously like Misha, gleefully gives the results. I think she's gotten faster than the last time. That was incredible! Mitsubazaki grins proudly. Emi's a heck of a runner. We fall silent as the next event prepares to start. I'm surprised to see Emi striding out onto the track again. Wait, didn't she just run? Emi mother's nod. Yes, but she runs multiple events for the team, especially the sprints. It's a lot of running, but Emi can handle it. The looks of things, she's right. Emi doesn't appear to be tired, as if she hasn't had run the previous event at all. Not for the sweat visible on her shirt, you'd never know. Which event is this? It's the 200-meter dash. She'll do this one, the 100-meter, and the relay. I see. Once again, the pistol sounds, and once again, Emi flies off the block. The thumping sound draws my attention away from the race. It's Rin's foot. She's completely absorbed in the race. Emi's mother cheers again, and I assume that the race is over. Sprints don't seem to me like they take very long to complete. Your foot. Your foot was bouncing on the bleachers. Yeah, is there a problem with that? Oh. You seem pretty into this stuff. I'm surprised. I thought you said this wouldn't be exciting. I suppose you're right. It's not that interesting. But I'm watching Emi, not the sport. I don't follow? Emi's the most Emi when she runs. You don't get to see Emi at her emiest very often. But here you can, see? She directs my attention towards the track again, where the 100-meter dash is about to start. Is this in a row? Is she doing all 4 events in a row? Watch Emi closely. As she gets onto the starter blocks of her body seems to relax, but it's a false relaxation. You can see that she's actually like a coiled spring. As the starter tells everyone to get set, her head snaps up and her eyes narrow slightly. Oh shoot, she has the evil smile! Her mouth curls upward, and what could be a grin and could be a growl. When the pistol goes off, it's as if she's been unleashed from a cage. Like she was always moving at this blinding speed, but we couldn't see it happening until the starting pistols dispelled the illusion of motionlessness. As soon as she crossed the finish line, the fierce look was replaced by a normal grin. Conquering General returning to his farm. Amazing. She's really amazing. I've never seen someone move that fast. Well, don't look at me. I'm far too relaxed to run that fast. No, I think Emi's prowess all come from her father's side. As the mention of Emi's father, Miss Ibuazaki looks wistfully, almost sad. He got her into running, you know. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Leave it at that, and I don't say anything for a little while. I get the feeling this is something personal I shouldn't ask about. Yeah, we don't know about yet, but we need to learn more about Rin, not Emi. Even though it's only emanates from Miss Ibuazaki's pocket, reaching into it, she pulls out a cell phone and looks at it. Honestly, text messages? What is he, 16? Huh? Oh, nothing. I got to go meet up with a friend of mine. Will you tell Emi I'm very proud of her and that I will call her later tonight? Of course! Sad she couldn't watch the relay, but while waiting for the relay to start, I peer at Rin. She seems uninterested in her surroundings, myself included. That remark she made before is still stuck in my head. Emi's the most Emi when she runs. It just makes sense now that I think about it. Just thinking of it now, I can believe that Emi gives her all on the track. Sports are more than a hobby or even competition to her. They're a defining aspect of her life. What about Rin then? Does she feel the same way about art? Considering the persistence she displayed before the festival, I could easily believe it. Did I see Rin at her most Rin? When she was painting the mural? It was about to begin, but I don't see Emi anywhere. But Emi ran the relay. She runs anchor. So she won't be running for a while yet. Ah, likely the last one. Did you see it? Huh? Emi at her emiest? Maybe. Maybe this time. The race begins and I cheer Emi's teammates along as they pass the baton. Go, 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 go! Really? We're facing her again? Finally, I see Emmy sprinting onto the track to take the final handoff. Once again, I'm taken aback by how graceful she looks when she runs. It really is beautiful. Look at the determination and fearlessness on her face only adds to the picture. Emmy at her emiest, I suppose. Emmy flies across the finishing line with a great leap, just barely ahead of the next runners, but still in first. Well, let's go down. Gotta crown the victor. See if you can find a lower branch. That's not going to be easy. Ren shrugs. At least we tried. Amy is surrounded by her teammates, all of them congratulating her on the run. Ren seems to be waiting for Emmy to notice that she's arrived. It doesn't seem her style to draw attention to herself, or to emote beyond shrugging. Being more impatient than Ren, I wave to Emmy in her stead. She looks up and grins happily at us. Hey, you showed up! We would have bought you a crown of laurels, but Hisao didn't find one. Neither did you! It wasn't my job to look. When did we assign jobs? When I said, see if you can find a laurel branch. Try to keep up. I shrug. Guess the wind's rubbing off on me. Seems it's my fault after all, Emmy. Emmy laughs at Rin and me. It's okay. I'm sure you'll make it up to me somehow. Sure. Good. So how'd I look? Very emiest. I mean, impressive. Emmy seems pleased with this assessment. Not mention how much more impressive her performance is given her lack of legs. I figured she knows that already. Besides, it seems like it would take away from her effort somehow. Well, yeah, because it really shouldn't matter if her legs are metallical like that, or if it's, you know, her actual legs. Although, to be fair, I guess you don't have to deal with freaking foot pain, which could hinder, but still. Great to hear! I was worried that I looked a little slow on the relay, but I guess I did fine, huh? Emmy giggles and then seems to remember something. Oh, before I forget! Fred and I are going to do something next Sunday as a post-track meet celebration. You should come along. Normally we do it the day after, but since today is Sunday, I've got homework in class and all that stuff to take care of. Oh, sure, I'd love to. Great! It's a promise then! Oh, right, your mom wanted to say she's proud of you. She'll call you later tonight. I thought I saw her in a dance. I'm glad she made it. Hey, Emmy! You're going to miss the medal celebration! The ceremony! Oh yeah, thanks! She turns to Ren and myself. You don't have to stick around for this part. It takes forever. Besides, you should get cracking on your homework now if you don't want to be late. I want to be up late, Hisao. Emmy's gets back to her teammates, leaving me and Rin by ourselves. Neither of us has the slightest interest in the post-celebration ceremony, so we silently get away and back to the quad. Rin yawns without even trying to restrain herself, and shuffles her feet around restlessly. I feel awkward, but less so than if I was with someone else. So I'm left hanging, not knowing what I should say next. It was great, wasn't she? She was great. I'm very jealous of her. Why? Like I said, don't you think it's great to be able to really be yourself? Sounds weird coming from Ren. I don't think you, of all people, should have trouble finding a way to express yourself. Don't you have your paintings? She turns to look at me. For the first time, I see in her eyes this strange, hollow expression that I think must be unique to her. No, you see, the problem is that I'm not really sure who I am. Really? You couldn't make something a bit more dramatic for that? But no, that is interesting. And something I feel like a lot of people deal with. Like this. No, you see, the problem is that I'm not really sure who I am. That's something that everyone that I know of has to deal with. Trying to figure out if something they're doing is because that's them or not. I most certainly have to deal with that! Today's art club meeting is currently on hold while everyone waits for Nomaya to show up. I take this time to try and explain my theory about Yamaku to Ren. I've tried to figure out what exactly about this school feels so special to me. That concept I unsuccessfully tried to explain to Yuko the other day. It's so difficult, but the track meet and the time I spent observing my fellow students have helped my ideas mature a little. Have you noticed that people talk all the time? I really can't explain it, but once again, as I try to explain my observation, I'm struggling for words. So my body is heavily clicked, and I'm only now beginning to make sense of the intricate grouping and popularity networks. And yet, the feeling of being a part of a group is stronger here than I remember it being in my old schools. I'm trying to say that this school isn't like other schools. Or at least the students aren't. And even after discounting the obvious, do you know what I mean? I don't know what you mean. Oh, well, whatever then. I want to pursue the issue, but that's not the point. Nomiya arrives. Teacher is wiping sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief and breathing rather heavily. He quickly glances over the room, then settles down a bit. Hello! Hello! Apologies for being late! Is everyone present? Good. I must confess, I haven't really planned anything for today, as I have been extremely busy lately, but I'm sure we can cover something entertaining. Were you looking at Naughty Knots out of curiosity? Anyone have any suggestions? I was thinking we could have a discussion circle since we haven't had one in a while. At least found the one last... In a while? I, at least, found the last one magnificently enjoyable. There are some moments here and there, but nobody raises a voice to support or against Nomiya. We could delve into the various movements of art. Or does someone have a good topic in mind? Come on now, throw it out there. It doesn't matter if it's silly or odd. We can even cook up something interesting. Can we take a culinary class? Nobody seems to be brave enough to make such a suggestion. As awkward silence refuses to be broken, I lift my hand in the air. Oh-ho! Our newest friend seemed to have something on his mind. Speak up, boy, speak up! Well, I don't know about anyone else, but I've always wondered why art exists in the first place. My voice trails off. A silence set in the room, and nobody makes a follow-up on my meek suggestion. I feel like we just opened up a landmine. Then the teacher burst into laughter. Oh, excellent! Very good indeed! Right out of the gate with the big one, huh? Fabulous! Chuckling. He shifts some papers around on his desk for a few moments. When he's done, he appears to have made some sort of decision. Very well. Let's run with this and see where it gets us, shall we? Oh my, even an old fogey like me gets excited with such delicious enthusiasm as present. Oh my, indeed. I don't like that portrait. I really don't. Let me gather my thoughts a moment so I can figure out a good starting point for everyone. For some reason, the teacher seems to be almost literally bursting with excitement. He scribbles a few things down on a loose sheet of paper, then cleans the glasses with a handkerchief. I feel like I'm gonna lose my voice doing this guy's voice. He shakes a pose and freezes for an overly dramatic, artistic pause that spans what must have been a half a minute. I don't like that face either! It's so quiet I could hear a pin drop. First, let's come up with a few questions that we want answered, such as, what is art and why does art exist? Anyone have any questions that might be related? Boy with sunglasses pipes up almost immediately. His voice is soft and quiet, and I have a hard time making out what he says. What defines an artist? After him, another question comes up. If I fill a cardboard box with water and call it art, is it art? Everyone laughs at that, even the teacher. Great, wonderful, all of these. Let me start by saying that this is not a clear-cut issue by any means, and as such, I am not going to give any answers to you. I'm only going to speak from my own perspective. Scholars have argued about these sorts of questions since time immemorial, and there have never been a broadly accepted consensus reached. There are, however, some qualities that most tend to generally agree upon. Hopefully, you all shall find these acceptable as well. In short, art defines itself. It simply cannot be contained to a definition from the outside. Since the boundaries of art expand and contrast from forces within. Every day, someone... It's hard to keep up this enthusiasm. Every day, someone somewhere comes up with something completely outrageous that challenges any and all preconceptions. The core reason for this is that rather than the rational side of the mind, art appeals to the intuition, the instinct, the primal. You would find it very hard to explain why exactly is it that you enjoy some particular style of piece, no? Didn't wait for the response before continuing. I'm gonna die of... That is exactly why! So, art is a sort of wild. I feel like I keep losing the voice. So, art is a sort of wild, uncontrollable thing that looks somewhere deep in the frick. I accidentally closed the window. Not closed, but minimized. Thing that looks somewhere deep in our subconscious. Now, why does that exist? Normia apparently expects someone to pipe up with a guess, but nobody dares to interrupt his inspiring speech. He continues. It was a trick question, you see. Art also invalidates itself. Generally speaking, you might say that art exists for no other purpose than itself. It's something that exists merely to leave a mark on history. It's the defiance of the mortal against the face of darkness, as once said. Art is truly the proof of our existence. You all should know the human culture and civilizations are tied to the existence of art. Then, what about artists? What drives a man to dedicate his life to a thing so fickle and mysterious that it even defies definition? There are many answers for this. There are many answers for this as there are artists. But if I had to put it into words, an artist doesn't make art because he can, but because he must. Normia takes pause and his gaze sweeps over his audience, eyes flaring with passion. It is obvious that art touches the very soul of each and every human being, in one way or another. So, if you were given a chance to connect with your fellow man in such a fundamental way, how could you not? There is a poem I'm very much fond of, and I shall recite the most well-known part of it to you now. I feel that, for me personally, of all possible things, it captures best the essence of what it means to be an artist. Normia leans against the desk as he clears his throat in preparation. Against some distant place, he utters the words in the heavy afternoon air with his soft basso voice. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity in an hour. This is a solemn and unbelievably awkward silence after he finishes reciting the short fragment. Nobody dares speak a word. Normia clears his voice again. Ahem! To be an artist is to see the world in a grain of sand. You see, dear children, without art, there would not be much to live for in this world. It is a most profound thing. He is clearly touched by this notion. I almost expected to see a lone tear rolling down his rough cheek, but it never comes. Turned over and whispered to her. So how is this a discussion, Suckle? She shrugs nonchalantly back at me. The previous ones were the same. Just credit, Normia does try to get some debate going. The club seems to be reluctantly to comply. Yeah, I agree. I feel a little guilty about opening my mouth. Maybe we would have been spared from this. As the meeting comes to a close, I realize we haven't once touched any paint or pens today. I feel somewhat disappointed. Noah suddenly appears next to us. He seems to still be fired up from the speech he delivered. His cologne smells musky and saccharine at the same time. Give me an instant headache. Even though I'm not sensitive to perfumes, so can't run like a hungry wolf. Tezuka, do you remember Miss Sainoji who visited us at the festival? I think so. I'm going to tell you something amazing! The thing is, she's a well-known galerius around here. It turns out I might be able to get her to consider having some of your work put on display. Here's a sentence with a dramatic gesture. It seems he expected Vin to show some sort of joyous, shocked reaction at such grand news. But she just stares at him blankly. Magnificent, isn't it? This could be a real chance for us to get ahead, Cole. But... Now, I know what you're going to say. Yes, it wouldn't be a simple affair, but I think this is an absolutely fantastic opportunity. Frankly, I would have been surprised at all if we even made it big. This could be the first step. And then, when the water's out, we strike while the iron is hot. Right, Nakai? Yeah, it does sound pretty great, if you're into that kind of thing. Okay. See? We should definitely not let this one pass. Am I right? I don't really. I seem to be in trouble for some reason. Can't figure out why. What Nomiya is saying does indeed sound like a possibly great thing. She looks pretty down though and confused. I guess I don't like this. So, what do you think? I looked at her teacher, glowing face, then back down at her desk. I'll think about it. Nomiya is at least taken slightly aback by Vid's lack of superlative delight, then smiles widely at her and gently pats her head. Good girl! The cleanliness is finally over. As I lazily collect my things and help clean up, I start feeling exhausted for some reason. There isn't much to do, however, so it's over quickly. Catch up to Rin, who left the clubroom just a moment earlier, so we're walking down the stairs to the ground floor while I try to go over Nomiya's passionate speech about art, and Rin seems to be lost in thought. Not an unusual state for her, I've learned, but something about her expression makes me feel uneasy. Penny for your thoughts? That'd be too cheap. You're just overpricing your thoughts. I wouldn't be able to sell them anyway. I'm not sure what I'm thinking yet. That'd be fraud too, like selling candy for my baby. That's theft, not fraud. I have to think about what I think. Is this what about the teacher said? Getting your work put on display and all that? Doesn't answer, but stops in our tracks as we reach the lobby. With the only people around, so it's very quiet. Footsteps echo from a few floors up as someone hurries along a hallway. I think I'm going to go somewhere else. I think she really is troubled. Want company? I can't promise much help with the thinking, but it's not like I have much else to do, and I'm supposed to be doing some light exercise. If you like. That's gonna be it for this time, because this is leading to something. That's all for this time. This is Reselling the Drug Gamer. I hope you enjoyed the series so far, and I am not looking forward to doing his voice anymore. Oh my god! I hope passionate speeches like that aren't common. I only have one video done today, and I think I might have to take a break. Oh well. This is all for this time. This is Reselling the Drug Gamer. I hope you enjoyed the series so far, and I'll see all you guys again next time. See you guys then.